Why people struggle with money. Money is one of the most talked about subjects in our world today, yet it remains one of the least understood. Many people desire financial freedom, but only a few ever achieve it. The irony is that most people will work for money all their lives without ever learning the rules that govern wealth. Understanding why people struggle with money is the first step to breaking free from financial limitations. Until a problem is diagnosed, no solution can be applied, and financial struggles often persist because people remain ignorant of their root causes. The struggle with money is not limited to the poor or uneducated. Even highly skilled professionals and entrepreneurs face financial challenges. This shows that money struggles are not merely about hard work or intelligence but about financial principles. A doctor can save lives and still be broke. An engineer can design skyscrapers and still drown in debt. The problem is not the profession but the absence of financial literacy. When people lack the right money habits, no level of income can guarantee freedom. Many cultures have taught people to endure poverty as if it were destiny, but nothing could be further from the truth. Poverty is often the product of ignorance, wrong attitudes, and poor decisions. Prosperity, on the other hand, is not a product of chance. It is a result of knowledge and deliberate application of wisdom. Those who prosper consistently have discovered laws that govern wealth creation and align themselves with them, while those who struggle ignore or break those laws. Throughout history, countless individuals have broken free from poverty by learning the principles of wealth. For example, someone raised in a financially struggling home can still rise to wealth by unlearning old beliefs and developing new disciplines. Likewise, many who once enjoyed riches lost everything because they neglected financial wisdom. This proves that prosperity is not about where you start, but about the principles you apply. The stories of wealth builders worldwide reveal that transformation is always possible when the right foundation is laid. This study will explore the major reasons people struggle with money and remain trapped in financial limitations. We will uncover financial ignorance, poor money management, wrong mindsets, lack of multiple streams of income, and dependency on unstable systems. Each point will be explained through practical examples and real-life scenarios so that everyone can see themselves and make corrections. By the end of this study, you will not only understand why money struggles persist, but also be empowered to identify and confront these struggles in your own life. These are some of the main reasons people struggle for money. Number 1, ignorance. One of the greatest reasons people struggle with money is financial ignorance. Simply put, most people were never taught how money works. Schools prepare individuals to become employees, not wealth creators. You can graduate with the highest honors in law, engineering, or medicine and still be financially illiterate. This is why so many professionals find themselves trapped in debt despite earning decent salaries. They know how to earn money but not how to manage, multiply, or preserve it. Without knowledge, money easily slips through their hands. Consider the case of Chitty, a brilliant accountant working for a multinational company. His paycheck was impressive, yet at the end of every month he found himself borrowing to survive. His friends could not understand why a man earning so much was always broke. The truth was that Chitty had never studied financial literacy. He knew how to balance the company's books but not his own. His ignorance of personal finance principles left him trapped in a cycle of income and expense with nothing to show for it. Number 2, poor money management skills. Closely tied to financial ignorance is the absence of money management skills. Many people fail because they do not control their spending. Instead of creating budgets and sticking to them, they allow their desires to control their wallets. The result is that they spend more than they earn, often relying on loans or credit to bridge the gap. This habit eventually leads to overwhelming debt. A lack of discipline in money management explains why even lottery winners and celebrities who earn millions end up bankrupt within a few years. Take the story of Sandra, a young lady who inherited a large sum after her father passed away. Instead of investing wisely, she indulged in shopping sprees, vacations, and luxury cars. Within 5 years, the inheritance was gone, and she was left struggling to pay rent. Her downfall was not because she lacked money, but because she lacked money management skills. This real-life scenario demonstrates that wealth without wisdom quickly evaporates, and poverty will return if spending exceeds earning. Number 3, wrong mindset. Another reason people struggle with money is the wrong mindset. A poverty mindset convinces individuals that money is scarce, wealth is only for a select few, or prosperity requires luck. Such thinking limits creativity and hinders people from pursuing opportunities. A wrong mindset makes people see money as evil, leading them to sabotage their financial growth unconsciously. On the other hand, a wealth mindset sees money as a tool, not a master. Those who embrace positive money beliefs are more likely to attract, manage, and grow their wealth. A clear example is found in two brothers, John and Kelvin, who both came from the same modest background. John believed he would always be poor because wealth is not for people like us. He worked only for survival and never pursued opportunities beyond his paycheck. Kelvin, however, believed poverty was temporary and embraced learning about business and investments. Within 10 years, Kelvin built a thriving company while John remained stuck in a survival cycle. Their difference was not opportunity but mindset. Number 4. Failure to develop multiple streams of income. Another critical cause of money struggles is the failure to develop multiple streams of income. Relying solely on one paycheck is one of the riskiest financial strategies in today's world. When that single source is lost due to job cuts, economic downturns, or business collapse, the individual is left stranded. Wealthy people diversify their income sources through investments, businesses, and side hustles. On the other hand, those who depend only on salaries often struggle to survive emergencies, inflation, or unexpected financial shocks. Consider the story of James, a banker who lived comfortably on his monthly salary. When the bank downsized and he lost his job, his entire lifestyle crumbled. He had no savings, no investments, and no side business. His children had to drop out of private school and he struggled to pay rent. Contrast this with his colleague Bolus, who had invested in real estate while still working. Even after losing her banking job, her rental income sustained her family. This demonstrates the power of multiple income streams. Failure to delay gratification. People also struggle financially because they fail to embrace the principle of delayed gratification. Many want to enjoy luxuries before they have earned them. They take loans for weddings, borrow to buy cars, and spend tomorrow's income today. This short-sightedness prevents wealth accumulation because resources are consumed instead of invested. Those who understand delayed gratification save and invest first, then enjoy the fruits of their patience later. Every wealthy person has mastered the art of waiting, while the poor demand instant satisfaction. An example is Michael, who started his career with a modest salary. While his colleagues were busy buying the latest phones and clothes, Michael lived frugally. He invested 30% of his income monthly in mutual funds and real estate. 10 years later, Michael owned multiple properties and enjoyed passive income while his friends were still struggling with rent. His story shows that delayed gratification is not punishment, but a strategy to secure future freedom. Sacrifice today creates abundance tomorrow, while indulgence today creates regret tomorrow. Number 6. Accumulation of debt. Debt is another major reason people remain trapped in money struggles. Many live beyond their means by accumulating debt for unnecessary consumption. Credit cards, quick loans, and borrowing from friends become normal habits. Instead of using debt for wealth-building opportunities like business expansion or real estate, they use it for depreciating assets like luxury clothes and gadgets. Over time, debt becomes a heavy burden that eats away at future earnings. The borrower becomes a servant to the lender, losing freedom and peace of mind. A real-life case is Priska, a civil servant who took multiple loans to finance her lifestyle. At first, the loans seemed small, but soon her salary was swallowed up by debt repayments. She became anxious every payday, knowing that creditors were waiting. Her financial future was mortgaged because she used loans for liabilities instead of assets. On the other hand, her colleague Obi used his loan to buy land, which appreciated in value and later gave him financial leverage. The difference was in the use of debt. Number 7. Lack of financial planning. Another overlooked cause of financial struggle is lack of financial planning. Many people drift through life without setting financial goals. They work to pay bills without a roadmap for wealth creation. Without a plan, money slips away on trivial things instead of being directed toward meaningful investments. Financial planning provides direction and accountability. It answers questions such as, what do I want my finances to look like in 5 years? How will I fund my retirement? Without these answers, people remain trapped in survival mode. Take for example Blessing, who earned a good salary for over 15 years but never sat down to plan. She had no retirement savings, no investment portfolio, and no emergency fund. When her company suddenly downsized, she was left vulnerable. Meanwhile, her colleague Esther, who earned less, consistently planned her finances, invested in treasury bills, and bought shares. When she retired, Esther had multiple safety nets while Blessing struggled to survive. The difference was not income but financial planning. Number 8. Avoiding to take calculated risks. People also remain in financial struggles because they avoid taking calculated risks. Many are too fearful to explore opportunities, preferring the safety of their paycheck. While it is wise to avoid reckless gambling, refusing to take any financial risks leads to stagnation. Investments like real estate, businesses, or stocks involve some risk, but they also carry the potential for growth. Those who fear risk miss opportunities to multiply their wealth. As the saying goes, ships are safe in the harbor, but that's not what ships are built for. Consider the story of Ade, who worked in a government office for 30 years. He always heard about colleagues investing in land, shares, or small businesses, but he never participated because he feared losing money. By retirement, he only had his pension, which was barely enough to cover his needs. His friend Musa, however, took calculated risks by buying plots of land with part of his salary. By retirement, Musa had rental properties that provided him with steady income. Fear kept Adeb broke, courage enriched Musa. Number 9. Poor financial habits. Another major reason for financial struggle is poor financial habits. Habits like impulse spending, neglecting to save, or failing to track expenses gradually drain wealth. Small daily leaks often sink big financial ships. Many people underestimate the effect of little expenses, yet these add up over time. For example, spending on daily snacks, unnecessary subscriptions, or rides instead of budgeting for transport may seem harmless, but can consume thousands annually. Developing positive financial habits creates consistency, and consistency builds wealth. A scenario can be seen in Chika, who spent 3,000 naira daily on snacks and drinks during work hours. In a month, that was 90,000 naira, and in a year, over 1 million naira. She never realized how much slipped away until she started tracking her expenses. When she redirected that money into savings and later investments, she built a strong emergency fund. This demonstrates how poor habits create financial struggles and how changing habits can lead to financial stability. Number 10. Lack of financial discipline. Another reason is lack of financial discipline. Many people know what to do but fail to do it consistently. Knowledge alone does not create wealth, discipline does. For example, someone may know they should save monthly, yet they spend everything when temptation comes. Discipline means sticking to financial principles even when it is inconvenient. Without discipline, opportunities are wasted and wealth cannot be built. Every successful financial story is backed by daily discipline, while every financial failure is tied to neglect of discipline. A practical example is Kofi, who resolved to save 50,000 monthly. For the first 3 months he kept to it. Then he saw a new phone he wanted and dipped into his savings. Soon he developed the habit of breaking his financial commitments whenever desires arose. After 5 years, Kofi had almost nothing saved. In contrast, his friend Oma stuck to her plan and invested consistently in land. Today, Oma is financially stable while Kofi is still struggling. Their difference was not knowledge but discipline. Number 11. Absence of proper financial mentorship. Another key reason for financial struggle is the absence of mentorship. Many people repeat mistakes that others could have warned them about if they had sought guidance. Wealth creation is a journey, and those who walk with mentors often avoid costly pitfalls. Unfortunately, many prefer to learn through painful experience rather than from others' wisdom. Mentorship accelerates financial growth by exposing you to tested strategies, while lack of it keeps you in cycles of error and regret. For instance, Tony ventured into a business without seeking counsel. He invested his entire savings into an unfamiliar industry and lost everything within a year. His neighbor David, however, consulted mentors who guided him on how to start small, test the waters, and scale gradually. Today, David's business thrives while Tony is rebuilding from scratch. This example proves that mentorship can save years of trial and error, and its absence keeps many in financial struggles they could have avoided. Number 12. Overdependence on unstable economic systems. Another cause of money struggles is dependence on unstable economic systems. Some people rely solely on government jobs, pensions, or single industries for their survival. When the system fails, they collapse financially. True wealth builders understand that economies can fluctuate, currencies can lose value, and industries can decline. They prepare by diversifying investments and building financial buffers. Those who depend on a single, fragile system often find themselves victims of crises beyond their control. An example is the oil industry workers in Nigeria who lost jobs during the global oil price crash. Many had lived large on high salaries without saving or investing. When oil companies downsized, their financial struggles began. Some could not maintain their lifestyles because all their eggs were in one basket. Others who had invested in real estate or diversified into other industries survived the storm. This shows why dependence on one system is dangerous and why diversification is key. Number 13. Lack of financial vision. Financial struggle also arises from lack of financial vision. When people lack a bigger picture of what they want their financial future to look like, they live for today only. Vision creates motivation, and without it, money slips through their fingers. A clear financial vision provides purpose for saving, investing, and working hard. Without vision, even wealth can be wasted because there is no direction. People perish financially where there is no vision, but those with vision build legacies. Take Blessing, who decided early that she wanted financial independence by age 45. This vision drove her to save aggressively, invest in real estate, and avoid unnecessary luxuries. She declined many social expenses because her goal was clear. By 45, she retired comfortably and started mentoring others. In contrast, her friend Ali had no financial vision, so his money was wasted on fleeting pleasures. Today, he struggles while Blessing thrives. Their difference was not opportunity but vision. Number 14. Confusing income with wealth. People also struggle because they confuse income with wealth. Many assume that high income equals prosperity, but this is false. True wealth is not about how much you earn but how much you keep, multiply, and sustain. Countless athletes, musicians, and actors earn millions, but end up bankrupt because they lack the wisdom to convert income into lasting wealth. On the other hand, people with modest incomes who invest wisely can become wealthier than those who earn more but spend recklessly. A popular example is the case of professional athletes in America, where studies show that a large percentage go bankrupt within 5 years of retirement. They earn millions during their careers but failed to invest or save. Meanwhile, teachers and civil servants who invested modestly in retirement plans often lived more comfortably in old age. This demonstrates that income is temporary, but wealth is built on discipline and investment. Confusing the two keeps people in financial struggle despite appearances. Number 15. Unhealthy competitions and comparisons. Another struggle comes from the culture of comparison. Many people spend money to impress others instead of building wealth. Social media has made this worse, with people living fake lifestyles to gain validation. They buy cars, gadgets, and clothes they cannot afford just to look successful. This unhealthy competition leads to debt, stress, and eventual financial ruin. True wealth builders are not driven by comparison but by purpose. Until people stop living for appearances, they will remain trapped in financial struggles. Consider Lydia, who spent heavily on social outings to keep up with her friends. She bought designer bags on credit just to maintain her image. Soon her debts piled up and her reputation collapsed when creditors came calling. Meanwhile, her classmate Ruth quietly invested in a small tailoring business. Today, Ruth is financially independent while Lydia is still paying off debts. Their choices highlight how comparison kills financial growth and keeps people enslaved to money struggles. Number 16. Failure to innovate and adapt to change. A final cause of financial struggle we will consider here is failure to adapt to change. The world is evolving rapidly, and those who refuse to learn new skills or embrace new opportunities often struggle financially. The digital economy, e-commerce, and technology have created new wealth channels, yet many cling to outdated systems and resist change. Wealthy people anticipate change and position themselves for it, while the poor ignore trends until it is too late. Adaptability is a survival skill in today's financial landscape. An example is Kunnel, a shop owner who refused to take his business online. While his competitors started selling on e-commerce platforms and social media, Kunnel insisted on traditional methods. When the COVID-19 pandemic hit, his physical shop closed and he lost income. His competitors, however, thrived because they had embraced digital platforms. Kunnel's refusal to adapt kept him in financial struggle, proving that flexibility and innovation are essential for financial survival in a changing world. In summary, people struggle with money for various reasons: ignorance, poor management, wrong mindsets, lack of multiple income streams, debt, absence of planning, fear of risk, bad habits, lack of discipline, absence of mentorship, dependence on fragile systems, lack of vision, confusion of income with wealth, unhealthy comparisons, and failure to adapt. Each of these reasons has trapped countless individuals in cycles of financial pain. Yet the good news is that once these struggles are identified, they can be corrected through learning and application of wisdom. Every struggle listed in this chapter points back to one root: failure to learn and apply financial principles. Just as physical health requires following certain laws of nutrition and exercise, financial health requires obedience to laws of money. Anyone who ignores these laws, whether rich or poor, will eventually struggle. On the other hand, anyone who learns and applies them can rise to wealth regardless of background. The key is humility to learn, courage to apply, and consistency to persist. The encouraging truth is that no one is doomed to remain in financial struggle forever. Transformation is possible when knowledge is embraced and applied. Many who once lived in poverty are now living testimonies of wealth because they made new decisions. Your past mistakes do not have to define your financial future. The struggles outlined in this chapter are not permanent labels but warning signs. Once you confront them, you can rewrite your financial story and begin a new journey toward prosperity.